Ayo, 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 ayo,
BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So welcome to this 50-minute of experience, and today I'm with Sofia Lesquerre from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Hi, it's nice to meet you, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here. And today we talk about your experience, your stories as a human, as a photographer. And before to doing that, it would be nice if you can introduce something about you. Then the listener will know much better than you.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Argentina, Buenos Aires. I'm a graphic designer as well as I'm a photographer. I haven't been doing photography for so long, but I think about 2-3 years ago, I discovered nude photography, and I fell in love, and I can't stop doing it now. um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it from a photographer kind of point of view.
Yeah. And as a human, tell us more about as human. I mean, it was a short and straight.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm a very uh, curious person. Um, I love exploring the body in photography. I think through photography and through uh, getting to know others people's bodies through images, I've learned to accept my own. Uh, I think body image is a really big theme nowadays, and I tried like to help other people the way photography's helped me by doing images that represent bodies that maybe we don't see every day in media. Um, and yeah, that's for the like social part of what I do as an artist. But I really love seeing beautiful contrasts of light and shadow in the bodies and in the images I do. Um, so yeah, there's also an aesthetic part to what I do.
Yeah, I totally understand you because in the past I was working a lot on the images of nudes and bodies, and I loved this work on the shadow. And I remember most of the time I was working on the back of the model in general. So the model where every person was living in my villages, and I really was attracted from the what the shadows and the light could create with them back and them legs and them arms. And but from a moment to another in my life, I started to don't feel to be attracted anymore to these kind of images because there was repetitive the body of work. And I want to ask to you first at this research started related to something is about yourself and your body, and then I want to ask to you how are you keeping this intention to permit that every session could be totally different from another.
Well, first of all, yeah, I think I kind of I think I've always been attracted to the image of the body, but I didn't realize it could be like a thing in photography until I did a workshop. Um, so yeah, it was kind of an unintentional finding. Um, and from there, I started like doing the cliche kind of things of nude photography, and then I started to get deeper into what I do as a photographer with nude photography. Um, and yeah, for every session, um, if I work with models, I think each person brings something different into the scene. And I do like to get to know the person a little before getting naked. I think it kind of there's a need for an icebreaker when you get like a nude person in front of you. There's also a weird power balance between who's naked and who's not, and who has the gaze on you and who hasn't. So yeah, I try to have like really nice communication and dialogue with who I work with, so that everyone is comfortable and everyone does something that they're willing to do. And yeah, I I like having like nice communication with this. It's a very sensible subject sometimes
There
for
is a
some people.
particular reason that you started to taking a picture of nude's body, because watching your body and watching your work and on Instagram especially, I can feel of something separated from you from a moment to another, then in a way broken a door, and this door permitted you to step out in something else as you have now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm really drawn to nudity um as a thing. Like I don't consider myself a nudist because I'm kind of prudish still. But I think it's a really nice idea that the human body doesn't have to be something that brings shame. Like being naked shouldn't. I don't think it should be shameful. And I also don't think that nudity is inherently sexual. Uh, so I really, when I take photos of people naked, I'm not thinking about like sexual connotations on that nudity. And I try that not to show in my images. Recently, I've done a series that it's about lust, so that kind of contradicts what I've been saying right now. But I think it's nice to also explore and accept that nudity can be sexual, but I don't think it's the only thing it can be. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you. I mean, even I shooted the body of every kind of dimension and shapes, and for me was not anything related to the sex, but was, I don't know. I was, if I have to describe the elements was composing that moment for me, was like I was discovering the people in another perspective, and in a way I also like the things to push people over the border, and in a way there was for me was really portraying people when they was naked. They was not wearing any kind of clothes. They was not representing a kind of society or another. They was just themselves, and this permitted also a different kind of dimension, much more deeper and energetic of communication with them. And I totally understand what you mean, but in same way I keep also thinking about that it's probably what we deserve today to really fighting for our naked body, because one another we are closed in a jail of bullshit rules that are made probably 300 years ago without any really reason why, made especially from a Catholic ideology and not only, and without thinking that the absence is just we born naked. And that's why we have this contradiction that most of the time nudity is straight related to the sex, because it's also representative of a close aspect of being in touch with the nudity. In a way, we are driven to think about the nude is a kind of related of sex, because we see everyday people wearing clothes in the street. And if we see someone is naked in the street, we think, okay, it's crazy, what, you know?
Yeah.
But
I
in a way, we born naked.
yeah, I recently talked to someone who asked me why I wanted to uh why I wanted for nudity to stop being sexual. Uh, and I didn't know what to say really, because it felt something so obvious. Like why should for starters, I mean, through a feminist point of view, why should women breasts be any different than men's? Uh, and that's kind of like, of course, if you saw a woman walking on the street topless, you would like stare and be you have some sort of reaction, because it's not the norm society for so the society. But I don't know, I think there's no reason for that reaction to be there, and it's super artificial, socially constructed reaction. uh
I think in a way it's could be the same for a man. I mean, even sometimes I have seen some men they are in topless or shirtless. For me, was a
yeah,
kind
but in the
of
scale of reaction it would be a little less. Like it wouldn't, I mean, if you saw a woman topless in the street, you
depends,
would like
depends of the woman. I mean, in general, here in Berlin, I have seen stuff really crazy, and I'm not. I think the society here is not shocked anymore about stuff. I think me, as other people live here, I've seen really stuff crazy. I mean, the nudity is really something not crazy here, but
yeah, well, that's something that I'm really interested in, because nudity is not the same in every country. And I see how, like, if my images were in, I don't know, in Japan, for example, having any sort of cleavage, for what I know, because I'm not Japanese, but I think it's more scandalous to have like cleavage than to show your legs, for example. And here in Argentina, I think it wouldn't be really like that. I think legs aren't really a thing. Cleavage is okay, kind of. So it's interesting how in different cultures, it's super different. I think in Europe, it's a lot more common to have like nudist beaches, for example. And here, I don't think there are that many. It's hard to find, really.
now I tell you
So
something. I tell something that make laugh you and not only you, because we are in a podcast. And but for example, in Naples, where I come from, no, the nudity is something really crazy. I remember when I started to make a nude picture that was I really laughed about the reaction of other guys watching the picture I was doing, because they was not really caring about the picture I was doing. They was saying the first question was, "Who is? Where is? What did you do?" You know, and there was always this kind of they never saw a naked body. You know, was really clearly without message of sex, but they was kind of they never saw a piece of body, and
yeah, that's what I would love the world to be like seeing an image of a naked body, and don't not thinking about why there's a naked body or who's the naked body, but thinking like, oh, where's that, or what were you doing, or who is that, how did you meet them? uh
yeah,
so
I
yeah.
totally
Yeah.
understand. And this was for me really something fun in a way, and really close ignorant. But to tell you more, yeah, as I already told you before to record this podcast, I'm a person really don't like to stay in the rules. I like to break the rules, to provoke a lot. I like a lot to provoke. And one day I decided to drive naked inside of my car, going in a bar totally, completely naked to eat a croissant in my villages. So imagine my villages was kind of 10,000 people in these villages. And his name Madonna dell'Arco, and is related to the church. So the name of the place is totally of the name of the Mother of Jesus Christ. And yeah, they was so fucking shocked about that. I was completely naked, and yeah, I was also totally drunk, and that's I couldn't really move myself good, so I was in a way like really in a funny way, but I did this action because in a way I was really conditioned, influenced negative from my society when I was young. When I was really young, I was really scared to go making, I don't know, a swim in the beach because I was a bit fatter, and
Yeah.
I was provoked from this stuff that I was a bit fatter. I had the belly, blah blah blah. So then when I was searching the way to don't feel anymore this uncomfortable feeling, I started to feel okay. I have to be what I am, and I don't have give to fuck what other people think. And then I did, and then yeah, this is really particular of me. I don't find the solution in the middle, but I find the solution in the over the border.
Yeah.
And then,
No, but I understand what you mean. I mean, I think I do self-portraits, and it's kind of my way of saying, okay, I'm gonna go to a bar naked, but I do it in my home with my camera. But I think it's kind of the same thing of getting that exposure, uh, looking at yourself and feeling yourself the way you are, um, and trying to say, okay, well, yeah, this is who I am. Maybe I don't like this, I don't like that, but this is what I've got, and if I if I don't get to terms with it, I think it could be like, life is a lot better if you're okay with yourself, you know. So I think it's a really nice exercise to either go naked to a bar or get naked photos of yourself, to try to uh, be friends with your body in a
yeah,
way.
totally, totally. I think it's really important to overcome this bullshit, this list, another bullshit of the society we live in, and it's totally crazy and out of logic to be afraid to wear the clothes, the original clothes of yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And especially because body is something change in the time, change in base of the condition we are, also mentally conditioned. And I think we have to drive in a way or another also the message. We are in a way the responsible to the messages we drive with photography, that
Yeah, totally.
the beauty is not a concept we can close in some just rules. The beauty is a concept, really interpersonal, really personal concept, and it's totally related to other concepts as a heart, freedom, and what else. The
Yeah,
concept.
the essence of a human is not like their physical beauty. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
I
in
think.
a way or another, for example, when was some days ago, a client of mine that was here, we was working. She's an artist, and we was working on some concept, and she showed me a burqa, and she wear the burqa. She said, "Okay, what do you think?" And I think, "Wow, it's amazing." And she said, "What? Is amazing? Why you think it's amazing? I mean, you know the burqa what is?" And I said, "Yeah, no, burqa what is, but it's amazing. What I have to do? I mean, I like." And she say, "Yeah, but this is the object that detain the slavering of the woman in the Arabic country." And I said, "Yeah, for sure, but it's also nice. I mean,
Yeah, at the same time, not all women choose. I mean, not all women feel oppressed by a burqa. It's
yeah,
like some women choose to use it because they believe in it. They believe what they're doing, not because they're forced to do it.
yeah,
So I think there's like a demonization of that on this side of the world from the Occident.
yeah,
Um,
totally." And
yeah.
I want to really go a bit more deeper and a bit more longer. That we already, I think, passed our 50 minutes of experience. So then we are doing our 30 minutes of experience, or more. And let's say, what was one moment that really made you think that you was doing the right kind of picture, the right you was creating the right atmosphere, you was creating the right messages.
Well, I usually work with people who are already okay with their bodies, like they don't have any insecurities or that sort of thing. But the few times that I did work with like a average person who doesn't pose in front of cameras naked all the time. They usually get like, when they see the pictures, they are like, oh, like they thank me because they never thought they could see themselves in that sort of eye, with like see themselves as something beautiful. Um, but yeah, I think that's the most rewarding thing of working with people naked, like helping them to see that they are beautiful, whatever they look like. Um, yeah, so yeah, I think that's like, or sometimes I get comments, maybe I haven't worked with the person, but I get comments like, hey, your work helps me like get in a better relationship with my body, because I see all these sort of bodies that are not the norm of beauty, and they're different, and mine is different too. So thank you. I think, yeah, really thank you messages from people are what gets me like, okay, yeah, I'm doing something right because I'm helping people.
That's really nice what you do it, and what I think these people feel. I just wondering. I would love to see if probably more other kind also of body. I mean, I say also men, for example, or
Yeah, men is a delicate subject. I mean, I really would like to work with men, but I haven't met someone who would make me feel comfortable working with them naked. I mean, I would be exposed in a way, being a woman, with alone in a room with a naked man. Is not something like I would be that comfortable with. So I really would like to find someone who uh, doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, and that I would know that I'm not in a dangerous position, because it can be dangerous, that sort of things. I've heard stories of models that work with men photographers, and really awful stories that I don't want to tell here, but yeah. So
I mean, say. I mean, if you want, I
no,
mean,
I mean, stories, no, it's not, there's not any story in particular, but stories of abuse, or yeah, that sort of things, that it's really not nice. And sometimes models don't even know that the photographer is not allowed to touch them in any sort of way, never. And they think it's normal that the photographer say, oh, okay, let me move your arm. Like, no, that's not okay. You shouldn't ever touch someone without their consent. And it's a very delicate subject. That's why I want to like find the right moment and the right person to do this with. um, so
probably
yeah.
you can find some people in the queer community that probably will be more easily for you to get in touch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there's never telling, like, you can never tell if the person is like a good person or not, until you get in that situation and you realize it's like sort of like uh you don't know what you'll get. So it's
Yeah,
better for
I
me
definitely.
if I get like either recommendations from other photographers that have worked with that person, or a friend of a friend, or some sort of thing. Like there's needs to be some sort of like trust, and knowing
Yeah,
that this person is.
I get totally your point for sure, because also in my experience, but in my experience, I can tell you I had also bad experience with women in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not only about
No, of course, of
it's
course.
not it's not a things of gender, I think. I mean, in general, also, I remember when I was in the beginning of photography and I was doing nudes, I was really provoked from some girls, and I didn't like that because, they was also joking about the things. Yeah, you're not getting horny, you're not getting horny, but that, oh no, I'm not
Yeah,
getting
that's
horny,
super out of place.
I
That's
mean,
also totally wrong.
you don't go
uh
to the doctor and say, yeah, you don't get horny because you watch my pussy. No, man, because
no.
probably he watch 20, 30 pussy every day, and probably it's not like
Yeah, no,
that.
of course, of course. No, yeah, I'd like to work with men, because I think there's also uh in the media, there's so many aspects of being a man that are not represented, like vulnerability for once. Like, why can't men cry? Why is it wrong to see why is it shame to see a man cry? Like, it's supernatural. It shouldn't be wrong. Why
Yeah.
should they be stronger? Like,
Unfortunately, there in Argentina, you have the domination from European countries, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and every of them they was so really influenced from the Catholic and Gothic way of thinking, and about this, the man has to be strong and to don't
yeah,
to cry. But yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah,
I think that this is something is going to pass slowly. Also, it's something we are fighting against with,
yeah,
because we are another to. I remember, for example, this is really important. It's really difficult for me to cry, but because when I was young, reach a child, I was crying a lot, and my mother was really strong person in any situation, and she repeated me a lot to learn to don't cry, because other people in my village, they was using that to kick me, and I had to learn to don't cry. But this in a way also destroyed, or yeah, made the hole inside of myself to don't be able to cry in some situation. It was really, I mean, in a
yeah,
way, this forced me and helped me to be strong in every situation. But in another part, also when my mother died, it was difficult for me to cry. And
yeah,
yeah, and it's in something in a way you can block, but it's really difficult then to unblock. And
yeah, yeah, I agree.
then yeah, for sure, we deserve, yeah, we deserve to cry. I follow the things my girlfriend said. It's really important that uh, yeah, every emotion has to flow in so it's when we see someone crying, as not to be something bad. And but I tell you a secret. I mean, I tell not only to you the secret because this is recorded, but I cry a lot in front of the Pokemon, or even the cartoon in general. Every cartoon touched me in a way to make me cry. It's
Yeah, I
something
mean, I
really
think
powerful.
cartoons get to our inner child, so it would make
Yeah,
sense that
and
that's the thing that provokes crying.
it's amazing because they touched me really deeply, and they let me cry. And this is something not it's not everything touched me in this way. So yeah, so was it really interesting to talk with you about that, and I'm sure about that we will do it another talk about not only naked people and bullshit of the society and the crying in front of the cartoon, but if someone won't follow this advice to cry in front of the cartoon, just can then send a message, a vocal message using the link in description. And this was really nice. Thank you, Sofia, for this short long talk. And every link of Sofia will be in description, and we will see in the next episode.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Learn more about our project at allmylinks.com/BerlinExplorer, or visit our Instagram and follow BerlinExplorer project.